your boy CB. We up in here. It is Thursday morning, April the 28th, 2022. It's about 6:39 in the morning. I just got off work. I'm your host, CB, aka the Rude Educator. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can send me emails to the rudeeducator@gmail.com. And of course, you can always subscribe to this channel, leave comments, participate in the chat, hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. Now, this is Thursday morning, and the week moves on, the month moves on, the year moves on. April's almost over. We're about to head into May, get into some of this summertime vibe. It ain't quite summertime yet, but that summertime vibe hit by the time Memorial Day weekend come through. Everybody ready to, sport their shorts, they summer dresses, all of that. And we love it. We love the summertime until it get too hot. People love the weather that they not having. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's hot, people wish it was cold. And when it's cold, people wish it was hot because people ain't never happy. The best weather though really is that 69 to 75 degree weather. You don't want it to be too hot. You don't want it to be too cold. You want it to be just good enough for you to put your shorts and all that, your short sleeves and all that on, and step outside, and also not warm enough though to make you sweat. So, people get real picky about that, but you got to take what you can get. And down here in Indiana, we get everything in a week. So, you know how that go. But anyway, got a few things on my mind this morning. Like I said, I just got off work. And as always, there's something on my mind. So last night, people put out this idea that, they got the list of 100 best rappers. And there was a lot of funny names on the list. There was a lot of funny names on the list. And the thing is, I'm not going to talk about who's on the list. There's plenty of people doing that already. There's plenty of people out here talking about, who should be where on the list and all of that. That ain't what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is why do people make these lists? Why do they make the top 100 lists? Why do they make, best of the year lists? All of these lists. And what I'm about to say, is probably going to seem like a dig on me, on myself, at the end of the day. But here's the thing. Back when we had, actual paper publications, that were popular, people started making these lists to more or less fill pages. Now, the funny thing about music and movies too, when you really think about it. A lot the rankings is not based off anything. Like the top 100, all that stuff, that ain't based off anything but sales. And now it's based off streams. They got the calculations and all that kind of stuff. But it's basically about what they figure your song, the popularity that they figure your song has based on these different metrics. And the list that people come out with is based off opinion of the person that's making the list. So, and here's the thing. In this day and age, and this is the part where I'm digging on myself, because in this day and age, if you have an opinion, you can get a bunch of people to agree with you, and then there's gonna be a bunch of people that don't. But the bubbles that we stay in, I'm talking about the bubbles again. The bubbles that we stay in all agree with us. So that we don't really, they give them different names and everything like that, but they basically bubbles. And if you don't fit the criteria to be in this particular bubble, well, then you're not gonna ever make any noise in that bubble. So you got to move to another bubble, basically. And that's fine, but the problem is you don't get any diversity of opinion. You got everybody thinking the same things, thinking the same way. And, there's nothing really productive about being in a crowd of people that agree with you. Because if everybody's agreeing with you and everybody's thinking the same way, where you going to get new ideas from? Where you going to get something to take, your idea to the next level if everybody thinking the same way? That's why you need people to think, not necessarily the opposite of you, but think differently. That's why you got to be around different types of people. Because if everybody that you around is just like you are, then there's no progress there. There's no, change. It's all monolithic. You want to diversify your group so that you get in different angles on things. That one angle may be great, but how great is it to have that one great angle and then another great angle and then another? I mean, that the idea is not new. The idea is not, earth shattering or anything, but it's just, a reminder that being around different types of people only makes you more robust, whatever it is you're trying to do. If you do, if you do R&B music, then you definitely want to be around some hip hop people. You definitely want to be around, some gospel people, some jazz people. You want to be, and then you want to go and be around, country singers too. You want to go and be around visual artists, fashion designers, all of that stuff. See things from different perspectives so that you're not just getting the same thing over and over again, reprocessed, right? You want to get somebody that's coming from way over here with it. Because when it's just you and your tribe, then things get lost. You know what I'm saying? Things don't even get discussed sometimes because it's not, part of the main concerns of that particular group. But then when you diversify it, everybody worried about something different. You know what I mean? Like have a conversation with somebody that's different than you one day and ask them about the challenges that they think about on a daily basis and then compare it to the challenges that you have on a daily basis. Okay? It may be things that other people think about as challenges that you do with ease and vice versa. And why is that? It's just because of the way that, that's just the way that life kind of goes, that people kind of funnel, into their own little worlds. And those worlds, especially the more and more technology we get to where, interacting is based on your choice, the further we get from, what really made things potentially great. You don't necessarily have to be around people that are not like you these days. Back in the day, before, everybody even had a telephone. Now you know what I know when when you black and you go back too far, it get dangerous. I understand that, but what I'm saying is the way that people interact. Before people had telephones, you had to interact person to person, or if you couldn't do that, you had to write a letter. And how long did a letter take? You know, it's interesting. We almost at the point where almost we almost at the point where you have people that probably never you have a bunch of people that probably never even wrote a letter by hand and sent it through regular mail. What reason, except for, it's funny, the bill collectors, all those people, they still send mail. There's plenty of mail still, right? But how many letters are being written and sent by hand? You know, why do all of that when you can send a text message? They got it. People, that's how far we come. It used to take you a week to hear from somebody. Now people get mad if you don't text them back in 5 minutes. And no, that's not personal at all. But what I'm saying is sometimes it may take you an extra couple of minutes to send that text, and people genuinely get attitudes about it. And it used to take a week, at least a week sometimes. That's convenience for you. But like I was saying, collaboration, working with people that are different than you takes whatever you're doing to another level. Your project that you may have may be, a lot of engineering involved. But if you are a good project manager, you will have people that, think in a certain way, not necessarily have the best math skills. Not everybody. Somebody's got to do that math. But everybody doesn't have to be so, on point with the math if you got one or two people that are. If you got one or two people that are great with math, then get a couple of creative people. Get a couple of people that think outside of the box. So you had a diversity of thought. Because when you're working on something, when everybody's working as a team, there are going to be those things that come up. And if you don't have diversity on your team, those things that come up are going to be kind of like a mystery because they don't have anybody to handle that. So when you do, it just makes everything easier for everybody. When you're a leader, you take, the personnel that you have and assign them the tasks that, bring out the best in them. It may not be the same as somebody else. You got to understand that there's always different types of people. And different types of people working together just brings, and it's not necessarily more success, but the type of success you have is just, I like to use the word, it's robust, it's more flavorful. Okay, so that's that's the idea today is that keep it diverse for the sake of being stronger. Yeah, it's definitely power in numbers, but when your collaboration comes from a place of inclusion, when it's something that you trying to cover all those angles, then it's gonna come from that. It's gonna come from having enough people thinking in enough different ways that you cover as many bases as possible. And that's always the goal, I think. I think that forward thinking people really want to have, that kind of, success because, it's not enough just to, be the first across the finish line anymore. You have to, be dynamic. So make sure that when you're building your teams for whatever your projects are, whatever your goal is, make sure that you're doing the best you can with including diversity in that because it's only going to pay off in the long run. And that's my piece on that. We about 6:54 in the AM. Y'all know what it is. It's the I Just Got Off Work show. I'm your host, CB, a.k.a. The Rude Educator. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Twitter. I got an email at Gmail, rudeeducator@gmail.com. You can hit me up at, you got my number, scrolling across the screen. Text me, call me, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? I always got it on me. And we're gonna reach these goals. Cause I just be thinking when it's on you, you know what I mean? When it's really on you to get to that goal you reaching for, it's an obsession. I mean, for me it is. I can't speak on anybody else, but for me, when I get a goal in mind, it becomes an obsession. I can't rest, until it's done. And it's like I'm at that point right now. I'm at that point where I'm really trying to get people, to come together and find out, what everybody is doing, so that we can find ways to, build something great together. It's only a matter of time that it all, actually work. I think that when you get the right people working, in the same direction together, it just generates. It regenerates itself. It becomes perpetual. And that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of thing we want to get going here in 2022 is just like a perpetual motion of intellect, creativity, and making it ambitious, make it big as possible because we can get that done. Keep going back into it. We're going to talk about the NBA. Don't worry. Because I'm putting it off a little bit. It's hard for me to say because my guys lost last night and they got put out the playoffs. Bulls headed to Cancun, go fishing, wherever you want to put it, because the Bucks put them down last night. And I mean, it's been they got their run going right now. They had their run back in the day, but then the Bulls got some, and that ain't no more though. It's 2022, and Bulls really, I mean, okay, look, it was a good season. All right, they was in first place at one point. I think, the bottom line with the Bulls this season is this. You played well enough to beat the teams that sucked. You did not play well enough to beat the teams that mattered. Therefore, you got to take a real long, hard look at everybody in that locker room and figure out who's a liability and who's an asset. Because it's assets over liabilities out here. If you know what I'm talking about. Who know what I'm talking about? Somebody know what I'm talking about. Holler at me if you know what I'm talking about. Assets over liabilities. 2022 forever. But yeah, They bid it. It's over for them. They headed to Cancun. Other teams had that got sent to Cancun last night. Uh, Denver Nuggets. Yeah. Uh, Golden State went ahead and pieced them out. Steph got him a 30. He got him a 30 piece. Um, Warriors, I wouldn't say that they're unstoppable right now, but my question is who's going to stop them? I mean, it's obvious. Well, it wasn't Denver. It wasn't Mr. MVP Jokic and his crew. They couldn't do it. Uh, Phoenix. It's funny how good Phoenix looked all year, and I was thinking about that anyway because they went so hard during the regular season. Maybe they didn't need to go that hard. Maybe they could have, and this is something that I feel like Steve Kerr picked up from Phil Jackson because Phil used to do it too. You know, you ain't got to win every game. I feel like Phil used to probably promote that idea. You ain't got to win every game. You just got to win enough games to make it to the playoffs, and then win enough games in the playoffs to beat the team that you face in each round. You ain't got to win every game. So while Phoenix was going so damn hard all season, some of these other teams, like Boston for instance, Boston got the same guys they had all season. They even went back and got some guys they had from last year, the year before, whatever, with Tice. And they pretty much they ramped up. They started off, how they did, but they ramped up all season. And then not only that, they kept their defense consistent all season. So I think those two things, that's the Boston example. But again, they didn't win every game. They had a time in the beginning. I feel like the Boston Celtics team, even though they've been playing together, um, they pretty much did what people thought LA was going to do, which was, kind of pull on up at the end after, having struggled during the first part of the season. But they didn't ever pull up. And I'm doing one thing that I've been talking about I hate doing, and that's bringing up the damn Lakers because they ain't even in the playoffs. And people keep bringing them up. And I don't understand why, but it's like I'm sick of it. Here I go doing it. Horrible. Anyway, Philly. The Philly being exposed, that's, I don't know, that's hard to say. I don't know about exposed. It's just, just like those first couple of games when Harden got traded and they were playing and games were going oh so great. The thing about that immediate success is that it should be expected because don't nobody know really what to expect when you put, when you do a trade like that. So they caught people by surprise early on. And they probably caught Toronto by surprise early on in this series. But the jig is up. And if you don't have like a real plan, I'm looking at you, Doc Rivers. Because Doc got up last night and said, well, the people need to give me credit for the fact that we were up against Detroit. And I'm just like, okay, Doc, we get that you did what you did, and the team wasn't all that great, but you went there twice with teams that was great, and the same thing happened. So that's why people kind of asking those questions. And here it is. You got another squad that could possibly make some noise, but when you're having a hard time, like you haven't, don't look so good. So again, You can't win every game. Understood. But you gotta win. You gotta win. Uh, so Golden State's in. Boston is in. Milwaukee's in. Uh, that other Eastern. Who else? Who else they got? See, I always, I always got. Oh, Miami. Yeah, Miami. Yeah, Miami's in. Yeah, they took care of Atlanta Tuesday night. I wasn't on Monday or Tuesday. Wait, it was on Monday. Anyway, I think I was on Monday, not Tuesday, Wednesday. I know I took a couple of days off, but yeah, Miami's in, Milwaukee's in, Boston's in. We still waiting on see if it's gonna be Philly or Toronto. Okay, and then out west, we pretty much waiting on everybody, right? We still waiting on Memphis up 3-2. I feel like when it come to heart, Memphis got more heart than Minnesota. Minnesota got a lot of heart, you know. Don't Frankie Beverly? I mean Frankie Beverly. Patrick Beverly don't come after me, but my other guys, you know. Now I put it like this: when it comes to Minnesota, you got a guy that's been there. That's considered the leader of the team. And what I'm going to say right now is that the perceived leader of the team or the presented leader of the Minnesota Timberwolves is not the actual leader. And it really ain't Beverly either. The guy that I've seen show leadership on that team is Anthony Edwards. And the thing about Anthony Edwards is he goes out there every night and he tries hard to put up numbers to get his team ahead. I don't know what Cat's doing sometimes, man. And it's not based off just what we've seen this year. It's based off of all these previous years. Now, I know he went through it with the COVID and his moms, and I know everybody talked about that. And, you know, more power to the brother, you know what I'm saying? Really send my deepest condolences. And I'm saying that to keep it respectful because been playing like shit. And I really feel like his leadership is lacking. Maybe it's hand in hand. You know, you can't really tell guys that's putting up better numbers than you, how you gonna motivate them? They looking at you like you need motivation. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like when I look at who's actually doing it on that team, you got Anthony Edwards out there going out there every night, working his ass off. And Cat just kind of like, you know, I could go out and pick some dandelions, really. You know, I don't see the intensity with him. You know, on the other side of the ball, in that series, you got Memphis, and I don't see nothing but intensity in them young boys. I mean, it start off with their leader, which is Ja, and every when they doing they post game celebrations, every one of them young guys look up to Ja like he the greatest dude in the world. And it's only because, you know, when he won that most improved player award and sent it to Bane, like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, they said I was doing better, but you my MIP. That is leadership. That is, I'm putting whatever it is, I'm betting on the team. You see what I'm saying? That is not what I see going on in the Timberwolves locker room. I see Cat playing with Dandelions, and I see the rest of the squad looking to Anthony Edwards for leadership, and it's only his second year. Man ain't even 21 years old yet. So that's why Memphis is going to take the series this year, and Minnesota may be looking for new leadership over the summer. We'll see. But you heard it here first on WETF on I Just Got Off Work show. Matter of fact, it's about 7:09. We are moving right along. Before I go, I gotta tell y'all, first of all, Ozark, last part 2, season 4. I think, is it season 4? Yeah, season 4, part 2 comes out basically tonight at midnight. So if you got Netflix, which most people got Netflix, and you watch Ozark, then it's about to go down. So we'll definitely probably talk about Ozark Saturday show, give you some time to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Go through all the episodes and everything. But that's what I'm saying. Ozark, season 4, part 2, on Netflix, Friday. If you watch it, we're gonna talk about it. And we're probably gonna recap the whole series just because, you know what I'm saying, such a crazy time. You know, the fact that it's ending, it's kind of crazy. What else we got? Oh, if you didn't check it out, you need to. HBO's new show, Rerun the City. Is it Rerun the City or we? Here I go. As soon as I say it, it's like we run the city or we own the city. Whatever it is, it's a show about cops in Baltimore. The cops in Baltimore is wild, and it's like they go back in time, but it's like set out right after the Freddie Gray case or whatever. And so, you know, it's a good watch. I watched the first episode, and some of your favorite actors from The Wire is in there, and then they got a couple other people that, you know what I'm saying, that's popular with the people. So, hey, check it out if you get a chance. It's on HBO called We Run the City. Now, it has come to my attention that everybody, it's come to my attention that everybody didn't like the Batman. And I watched the Batman the other day. The Batman is a good movie. And then I saw some people trying to compare it to Spider-Man. Ain't the same type of movie. That's what you gotta understand about comic books in general, is that you got different genres of comic books, and just because they superheroes, don't mean you automatically lump it together. Spider-Man is a different type of hero than Batman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't just powers. They ain't both use their brain, but Spider-Man, he ain't rich. He poor, in fact, and he's still coming up with, you know, nice solutions to issues that come up. Batman got all the money in the world. He got a whole R&D department. It ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't saying he ain't smart. I ain't saying he ain't, you know, good with his hands. I'm just saying it's different than Spider-Man. But the Batman was good. The interpretation of the villains was on point. You know what I'm saying? Having John Turturro play Falcon. It was just little subtle things about it that made me feel like it was great. And, you know, when you watch movies as much as I do, you look for those things. But yeah, we all right with Batman. I don't know who was saying that, but I heard about it, and it just kind of made me upset, and I had to watch the movie again just to make sure I wasn't tripping. But nah, that's a good movie. If if you haven't heard, if you care, Avatar 2 has finally got a name, it's got a release date. It's coming out, Christmas this year. It's called something with the water, Avatar. Like, I damn near feel like it's people that wasn't even around when the first Avatar came out, and now it's coming out, and people are like, "What the hell is that?" I mean, you might have caught it on TV or something. So anyway, new Avatar coming out, and I imagine it's gonna be pretty spectacular since James Cameron has spent 18 years or whatever it is doing it. So we'll see how that works out. We'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Nicole Kill up in here in the chat, just saying what's up. Yeah. I don't know which one you talking about, but if you're talking about We Own the City, it's on HBO Max. Baltimore cops wreaking havoc on the city of Baltimore. It's pretty wild. And then we also will have some new Star Wars coming out real soon. I think that's coming out at the end of the month. But I'm still excited for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Obi-Wan on Tatooine. Obi-Wan fighting Darth Maul. Dealing with the crime syndicates and all that. Should be pretty nice. I'm gonna be glued to the screen watching it. Also on Disney Plus. Right now is Moon Knight. Moon Knight just had the 5th episode last night. It's pretty good. Like, if you ain't checked out Moon Knight yet, because you may not be familiar with the character, or maybe you don't like Oscar Isaac or something. I don't know. Whatever it is to get you not checking it out. Check it out. Just watch it. Episodes like a full hour down there. But, I mean, Oscar Isaac is good in it. But who's really good in it is Ethan Hawke, playing the villain. And I ain't going to get too much deeper into it than that because I don't want to ruin it for people that ain't seen it. I ain't ready to do no spoilers on it yet. But, yeah, Moon Knight is dope. Check it out. Hey, it's 7:16. 7:16. Like I always say, I ain't gotta hang out no longer than I need to. I think I done did enough and spoke on a couple of things that was on my mind. We talked about the playoffs. And then I told y'all what's coming up. Music wise, I did touch on music a little bit, but let me say one thing. All right, Pusha T's new album. So when I first heard it was one order. Now I guess they got this new order out where it's like the Ye versus Pharrell order. I'm hoping that both are still available because I like the way that original copy came in. That first song on there hit so hard. I like that. So I gotta check to make sure they got the other version available still. Cause I was rocking with the new version today, and it was cool. Hey, Black Star album produced by Madlib, May 3rd. That's next week. Make sure cop that one. I'm copping it early as I can, which is probably the day it come out. But anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here, man. Y'all be safe, be cool, be peaceful to each other, and we're gonna rock it out. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.